there's an opportunity right now for young,
yes,
competent Democrats, assuming that, well, the problem is, that everyone with any courage has had their voice silenced in that party. So the question is there anybody with courage left? So let's return to the Hollywood issue.
I will say to this, though, the Democrats that will step up, it is the best time for Democrats because they will stand up for the average American now that they have no power to actually do anything for the average American. And that is the strength of the Democratic Party when they have no power. They stand up for the individual when they have no individual, when they can do nothing for the individual.
Yeah, well, maybe that's partly how a two-party democracy actually works, is that the people who are out of power then turn to the people. Well, it could be, right? I mean,
it could be,
It could easily be that the huge advantage to the system as it's set up is that power flips continually.
It does flip.
Right? It doesn't matter so much who's in power. It matters that power flips.
Traditionally, yes. However, there has been a Marxist strain in this particular Democratic Party. That has been, if you dig underneath of what this equality was, or this equity was, and as Thomas Sowell says, if you can't have the same outcomes in the same family, how are we going to do that in greater society?
Yeah, of course.
We're going to make that person.
That's for sure.
And we're going to do it because you're automatically racist in a system of systemic racism. Therefore, you can't be in that position of power. We have to put this person here who doesn't even know that he's been oppressed against. So what it really was, and what Thomas Sowell talks about, was that it's really this form of elitist, and that's what the Democratic strain has to get out, this form of elitism. Because what it really was, it was eugenics back 100 years ago. These people are automatically inferior because of the color of their skin. We're superior to them. And what it was is a strange group of progressives 110 years later saying the same thing again with different language. These people of color are automatically oppressed and you're automatically the oppressor. But it's the same, it seems to be.
Well, that has to do with that proclivity to think in terms of group identity.
Yes.
Yeah, well, in many European countries and also in Canada, the way we solved the problem of the socialists of the liberal side was to have a socialist party, right? Yeah. So in Canada, we have the New Democratic Party. Now, Trudeau has turned Canadian liberals into people who are farther left than the socialists. And so that's a complete bloody catastrophe.
It is, but it's always painted as if we're doing wonderful things.
Yeah, the bloom has gone off that rose in Canada.
It has.
Yes, and he's going to disappear in relatively short order.
He did us a favor, though, because when he crushed the truckers and when he called them terrorists and when these are people who cared deeply about their country and wanted to peacefully protest. And the truckers who drove all the way across the country got the attention of the world. And when he crushed them, when he called them terrorists, when he froze their bank accounts.
And bigots and racists.
And bigots and racists. Yeah, you have to do the whole trifecta.
And I think white supremacists and
saw a flag.
Confederates.
There's a flag.
Yeah, I know.
There's a flag.
Do you know how many people in Canada fly the Confederate flag? It's like zero. It's 0 people.
Yeah, but that's one right there. That's enough. The whole group is represented by one guy who works for us who carried the flag.
Yeah.
But that actually helped wake up Americans to realize that to the tyranny that we could stand up and it really was. It was the Canadians that showed the example.
Yeah, well, it had a big influence in Europe, too.
It did. Well, let's stand up against this.
Yeah.
So in a sense, when they were crushed, they really did liberate us at their great expense. And that's what has to happen for freedom to expand when it's contracted. There needs to be individual sacrifice.